Every week, it seems, there's a new Wall Street institutional firm that is initiating buying Tesla stock. This time it's William Blair, a new Tesla bull who's calling Tesla as being very similar to Apple. They particularly see energy as the most underappreciated component of Tesla's story and are saying that while Tesla's current valuation may seem high, they think the premium is justified. Today, we'll review how NVIDIA's blowout earnings report and Jensen Huang's comments about the future of AI will affect Tesla. Elon Musk himself just announced that Tesla can also generate video world simulations, but with real-world video data. Joining me is Larry Goldberg. Larry is a serial entrepreneur. Thank you so much, Larry.
Great to be here, Herbert.
So this is a new institutional firm, William Blair, and some great comments that why they decided to start buying Tesla shares. They call it Apple-esque, and specifically they talk about energy. We'll cover that, but it's a new bull on Wall Street. So William Blair, the analyst is Jed Dorsheimer, and he wrote a recent note. What's that?
Dorsheimer,
that the Tesla energy is giving off Apple type of energy. It's like Apple-esque. Now, he gave Tesla a buy, but they did not give a price target at this point. But I just like this comment here that Tesla's potential robotics offerings like Robotaxi and Optimus, plus its other products, including EVs, energy storage units, solar, and software, they pave a way for the company to offer an Apple-esque energy ecosystem. He forecasts that Tesla hardware, EVs, robotaxis, robots, mixed with its software, would fit well in homes, utilities, and businesses. There's a lot more to cover what actually they said, but we finally have an institutional firm getting this Tesla story. What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I love William Blair. I mean, they're a investment house. They do wealth management. I've spoken at their conferences before. I think they're an outstanding firm, and they're making a good call here. I think this is a really good time to be investing in. My own thoughts is not investment advice. I don't do what William Blair does, but I think it's an excellent time to be investing in Tesla stock, and the energy story is just beginning. What they don't touch is the Optimus story, which is coming right on the heels of the energy firm breaking out, and of course the semi breaking out. So this is a really excellent time for them to be covering, initiating coverage on the stock. So more power, William Blair.
Thank you for that. These guys. So William Blair, they initiated coverage, outperform rating, just more than the broader market, driven primarily because of they view the underappreciated potential of Tesla's energy storage. It's great that they finally get it, but you have been talking about this since last year, and of course it ended up showing up in Q1, and now there's no doubt at this point, everybody has to appreciate that energy is a massive contributor to Tesla's growth, but they get it, right? According to Blair, they say that Tesla Energy, its Megapack and Powerwall, could become a significant growth driver, especially as expectations for the EV moderate in the near term. So we view Tesla Energy as the most underappreciated component of the Tesla story. Expect the narrative will shift towards the energy storage business in light of tempered EV expectations. Yeah,
and I just wanted to add one thing. I underestimated the Powerwall potential for Tesla Energy. Never thought they'd get to the kind of volumes they're getting to right now. It's quite surprising the level of volume they're getting to. And so it's quite clear that there's a much bigger market for Powerwall than I anticipated. And so that never factored into my numbers.
Yeah. And beyond the retail, of course, it's the data centers. And we're going to shortly here, we'll also cover NVIDIA and the AI boom that's happening and what Jensen Huang is saying. But here's the analysts where they're saying that the key factors that's going to make the energy storage business a compelling investment opportunity, it's the grid stabilization, right? The expansion of data centers, integration of renewable energy sources. These elements, combined with Tesla's broader automotive business and the AI, robotaxi, and robotics, it's going to position Tesla as a technology leader in this Apple-esque ecosystem for the future of energy. This is the biggest story right here. If you understand that data centers, the boom of AI is causing the massive data centers, these data centers require energy storage. They require this and robotics require energy, batteries. And of course, robotaxis and AI require this. And it's the ecosystem that Tesla has.
Right.
Energy is the foundation for life, and abundance or lack of, which determines how far society can reach, and Maslow's hierarchy of needs. It's the foundation, and Tesla's well ahead in this. This is big words here. I like what he said at the end here. While Tesla's current valuation might seem high by traditional metrics, we argue that this premium is justified.
Well, we agree. The story is quite remarkable, and it all boils down to understanding, the Master Plan 3. If you understand the Master Plan 3, you see how these pieces fit together in terms of the global economy and what is going to have to come in the global economy. We can't continue mining oil. We have to go to a more sustainable environment, and without doubt, EVs, electric power for the grid from solar, and batteries to stabilize and sustain this new grid. These are the absolute, key components. And then you get to the robotics, which, bind this all together in terms of reducing human effort. And so it plays very well together. And it's great to see some analysts and some of these investment houses begin to realize the universal nature of the plan and how Tesla is putting this plan together in a very, very strategic way. And so some of these strategies are going to play out over time. Some are happening, much earlier, like autonomy, for example. So, Elon was right when he said, we're between waves, and what's coming in 2026 is going to be amazing. When he projected in 2014 that they would need 5 batteries for 500,000 cars, people laughed at him. I mean, they laughed at him. And when he predicted in 2018, when he had done the 500,000 cars, that they were going to grow at 50% per annum, people laughed at him, over a period of time. Now, I think some people are beginning to get it, and the sooner they get it, the better for everybody.
I appreciate it. Well, this is the analysts. This is the words that they actually use. So why do you think that it justifies a premium? So they said, using traditional comparable analysis with auto or even tech, we understand that the difficulty justifying the valuation. But in our opinion, this misunderstands the Tesla story. Gosh, it feels so good to finally hear people we've been banging our heads on. We believe the halo effect created by Musk, the company's culture of first principles, and the technology advantages it has established warrant its significant valuation premium. Right. So that's the story. Do you believe it? Now, I don't have the actual video, but Dan Ives, a few days ago, he actually said this, that for every dollar that NVIDIA people buy from NVIDIA products, it can translate to $8 to $10 in terms of the other tech companies to be able to take advantage of this compute power, and it'll turn into real ROI. What do you think about that analysis?
Yeah, if you listened to the call last night, you could hear the analysts very nervous about the real value of AI. There's this thought descending upon Wall Street, it's amazing how they all have the same thought at the same time, that all these AI companies are going to go, that all this money is going to go for nothing, and that AI is right. Just a flash in the pan, another, 2000, blah, blah, blah. And, Jensen saw it, says it very clearly. He sees it very clearly. And Dan Ives, who we both love, I know, and he's been on your show, such a colorful guy in dress and in his expression in language is just amazing. He sees it very clearly. This is just the beginning. And, it's companies like Tesla that are going to be real world AI, that's going to take AI into the real world, not just in, some sort of gadget on your phone or gadget on your computer to help you or to give you some, pointers, but real world, like autonomous driving, like driving robots, by controlling robots. These are real AI challenges, and so we're going to see massive adoption of AI on a global scale at unprecedented levels, and all the nervousness that the analysts are currently feeling, they should get over it.
They should. So here's what Jensen Huang did at the earnings call. One of the questions he was asked during the Q&A section, Jensen Huang was just asked about the hyperscalers spending on CapEx. So these are the big data center folks like Meta and Microsoft, Google. They're spending on CapEx, and how the street should think about an eventual ROI from AI. Is it going to turn into an ROI? Just what you were just talking about. This was one of the most important questions during the call, because essentially the analyst asked, why should we still believe your clients will actually make money from the money that they're giving to you to build out their AI infrastructure? So Jensen Huang spent 10 minutes answering this question. He said, generative AI is a new way of doing software. Machine algorithms are becoming more efficient versus human approaches, which every single company is going to need to adopt. Frontier models are growing rapidly in scale. If you double the size of a model, you need to double the amount of compute to train it. So just, so many things are about to happen that you haven't even believed it's going to happen. More model makers are becoming prevalent versus the same ones like ChatGPT from 2023. There's image models, video models, etc. Then he says general robotics is now becoming the physical manifestation of AI in the real world. Jensen highlighted how many different ways AI is going to be implemented, and that ultimately is the reason companies are preparing for this revolution, spending more on CapEx. This part is absolutely important, I think, that it's not just one thing. AI is not one thing. AI can apply to everything, basically. He spent almost 10 minutes on this question. If any investor is concerned around if AI is going to create any ROI for the hyperscalers, they'll have to take these 10 minutes to go back to. He really spent time explaining why NVIDIA is going to continue to grow and why the hyperscalers will continue to invest in AI.
We, in my company, we looked at the amount of code still hanging around in the old computer language called COBOL. And we found that there were something between 300 and 800 billion lines of COBOL code running around. But as I think about it now, there are trillions, literally trillions of lines of, computer code of multiple different languages lying around globally. All of it, I mean, literally all of it, is going to be replaced by generative and other AI-based models, because code is very inefficient. And even those environments where determination, accurate determination is required, so-called determinative code, even that is going to be controlled by AI. So to say, oh, how are you going to get ROI out of AI? And we're not seeing it, and therefore we're going to mark all of this down, blah, 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 blah. It's nonsense. We are going through the biggest revolution that the computer industry has ever undergone, and maybe one of the biggest revolutions humanity's ever undergone. And so to start talking about, oh, we're nervous about ROI, it's just ridiculous. It's like people were talking about, there's no ROI in the internet.
Exactly. I was going to say, exactly. The internet is like flash in the pan.
Yeah.
The famous quote from Steve Ballmer, the smartphone.
Yes.
It's not needed or something like that. Can't see through it. So
that question he was asked would go into that category. Yeah.
Yeah, this is Jensen Huang, of course. Just the beginning, every data center is going to need to have GPUs. They're going to replace the CPUs. CPUs were there just, tiny little compute, but also storage is mostly what they were doing. Now we're talking about training AI. So this is continued to boom, right? You got OpenAI. They're now valued at $100 billion. Microsoft continues to invest. Trillions of dollars is going to be needed. So what does this mean for Tesla? This guy posted this, which is the diffusion model used in AI image generation are also game engines, a type of world simulation. By predicting the next frame of the classic shooter Doom, you get a playable game at 20 frames per second without any underlying real game engine. So I'm going to show you a video of Doom, but what's different about this video is that basically the AI is generating what you're going to see next. Every single frame is being generated, not prepared beforehand. It's not a game engine. It's like just telling you what I think you're going to need to see. And so this is like an actual simulation of what's happening in the world. So everything, it's just Doom, the game Doom, and you're walking around. But as you do, everything you're seeing here is being generated on the fly in real time by this AI. So this is Elon replying to this, saying Tesla can already do something similar with real world video. Can you explain what he means by that?
We've already seen this. I mean, what Tesla are doing now is they are generating scenes, drives, and they're taking the car through the drive and using that drive to train the car. And these scenes are not something that has been photographed by a car passing down this road and taking the left turn and moving into this lane and moving from this lane. It's actually completely generated by the AI. And they're teaching the car to drive in these different situations using this generated code. And so just as that computer was able to look at a computer playing Doom, the programmed computer playing Doom program, look at what it was doing, and then generate a Doom-like scenario being played out by itself. Tesla are using the ability to generate roads, generate conditions in roads such as rain or fog, or we saw chickens falling off a truck, or boxes falling off a truck. We saw cars driving through fire, through smoke from a fire, all generated by this capability that Tesla have by AI, and the car learned to drive through the smoke. So this is how many companies who do not have the billions of miles that Tesla have are trying to generate those miles, that experience for their autonomous systems. What Tesla have is the advantage of the 30 billion miles of driven of actual driving to create the necessary scenarios for AI to actually generate real life scenarios on a very large scale.
I actually found the video, so I'm going to play that now. So,
Right.
okay, let's repeat what people are saying here, right? So right now, people are knowing AI. AI to them is ChatGPT, where you ask a question, prompt a question, and then it's able to answer. All it's doing is predicting every single word, and then it's just an incredible answer. You go, oh my God, this guy's brilliant. It answered the question very well. Now they're showing you they can do that through video, right? They can create a movie. Create me a movie of a cat playing with a whatever you want it to play with a yarn, and let it be in snow. And all of a sudden it'll generate it, and then it'll actually do a video, right? Sometimes it's now 5 seconds. Now it can be 30 seconds. And soon it's going to be a full feature length video. A movie can be done just by AI creating this, right? Generating the next image. Well, Tesla showed this a year ago. Did I actually get the right one? I thought I did. Yeah. I'll just go ahead and use this one instead.
This is the scene.
I don't think so. So this is a Tesla car driving. Yeah. There's a Tesla driving. The Tesla's driving through, and you're seeing a video. These 4 video cameras. What he's saying is that they look like as if they're just video. That the 4 cameras, the 8 cameras on the car is capturing, but in fact, Tesla's AI is able to now generate that like just out of thin air because of the videos you put in there. And it's actually creating it accurately, like so accurate that you don't even know that it was generated. Like there's a house there's a tree, there's a car on the side, there's a curb. All of that's been generated by the AI, but it looks just like as if there was a video camera that somebody was, driving down that street. So they can apply that to anything apparently. So yeah. Final thoughts on that. What does that mean for Tesla? If Tesla can actually do this already, they're taking this is the weird part. Is nobody realizes that Tesla can do this. And they already doing it a year ago.
Yeah, and in fact, when you're feeling this incredibly smooth ride in this latest version of FSD 12.5.1.5, it feels so natural. It feels as if a human is driving it. And all of this is the result of being able to simulate these environments with such great accuracy and now the car is able to think ahead. I can't even begin. I mean, my mind can't accept some of the things it does. Like, I have the standard tests that I've been running on every version of FSD I've had for the last 5 years. 5 years. And there's one place where I turn right onto a road, and it's very important. You're going up a hill. It's very important you get into the left lane because that lane is about to end just off the crest of that hill. And then I've got to turn left very shortly after that. Well, every version before 12.1.3 got it wrong, and I ended up having to intervene.
Yeah.
Now it just automatically starts going to the left, and I cannot fathom how it must know that it has to do that, because I couldn't fathom before it started being able to do that. How are they going to figure that one out? Mm-hmm. And the same, there are quite a few examples like that. So having these billions of miles that they've traversed and being able to create these scenarios in multiple different environments, and many of them from the examples they already have, give them such enormous advantage. Anyway, it's just magic.
Okay, so we've talked about Tesla's AI advantage. Let's go back to electric vehicles. So people think, and there are many, many competitors in electric vehicles, and they think that Tesla is, just going to be a commodity. But the one thing that's different between Tesla's EVs and others is that no one else is making profit. Not a single other company is making profit. The one company people think is making profit is BYD, and they might have very briefly, but apparently they're not. So this is recent news here. AJ at ALOJOH on X, he did a deep dive in BYD's second quarter 2020 financials. Everything's growing in certain parts, but if you dig closer, what's actually growing is what they call PHEVs, which is the hybrids, not the battery electric vehicles. They temporarily surpassed Tesla for 1 quarter, but they've since fallen off the cliff for some reason. And their biggest issue with BYD is significant cash burn for the second consecutive quarter. That's a major concern. They're going to have to slash production in third quarter to release inventory capital, alleviating the cash burn. It's likely that BYD's growth will significantly slow in the second half of 2024, and they're refocusing on these hybrids instead of the BEV because of these issues that they're facing. So this is the news here. BYD lost $2.4 billion in the second quarter of 2024. Their negative free cash flow for the first 6 months is now $4.6 billion. So again, people thought that they were doing great here in the Q4. That was the first quarter where they surpassed Tesla in sales of BEVs. But actually, and it looked like that they were going to make profit, but now for something happened and they fell back into the negative. So as of this point, the only company that's actually making any profit is Tesla.
I predicted BYD's situation a year ago because I looked at their margins, which seemed healthy, but then I looked at their operating costs, which were incredible. Very, very high. Firstly, shout out to AJ.
Yeah.
He is the best analyst on X and maybe beyond X, maybe the best analyst in the market today. I mean, there's no doubt about it. His numbers are right on. His research is in great depth. He's the best analyst around, and there are some great analysts, but there's nobody like AJ. He's at ALOJOH on X. You should follow him if you're not already following him. The guy is just fantastic. But, I looked at BYD last year and published my concerns about BYD, and these numbers today actually underline it. I think BYD, if they're not in trouble, they're going to have to really pivot. They're going to have to pivot, seriously pivot from their multiplicity of models. They're going to have to really look at their bottom line. They're going to have to look at their most important, their overhead. I mean, their operating costs they're out of all proportion. So, yeah, I kind of thought this was coming, but AJ just nailed it. I mean, he's been doing quarterly analysis of BYD, and he's right on target. BYD, mark my words, they're in difficulties.
Wow. Okay, because everybody assumed that they were the leaders. So they have 18 models of the battery electric vehicles they have versus Tesla's 2 models. Imagine what happens when Tesla introduces 2 more of the more affordable models that are actually going to go directly in competition with BYD's lower cost cars.
Yeah. Where BYD really has excelled is in, being able to build multiple models and profusely. Where Tesla has come short is their lack of models. They have been much slower to market with a wider range of models, and therefore their product is so premium priced. But kudos to Tesla. They continuously make really solid profits. They continuously watch their operating cost levels with such eagle eyes. I mean, kudos to Elon Musk. I mean, people hate him for it, but he is such a good operator of companies. And so in this area, Tesla has fallen short in terms of building multiple models, but they are definitely operated their company in an extremely efficient way.
BYD has over 700,000 employees. Tesla's 140 or something like that, and they keep cutting. So just final information here. Jan of the EV Universe said this. These are the best-selling EV models in China, Europe, and US in the first half of 2024. Tesla dominates this year exactly the same as it did for 2023. So you got first half of 2024, China, Europe, and US. In China, the number one best-selling electric vehicle is Tesla Model Y. Then you got BYD Seagull and BYD Yuan Plus. And again, this is completely different price points. This is the premium price point. These are the cheaper versions or more affordable versions. And Europe, Tesla Model Y, number 1. Tesla Model 3, number 2. Then you got the Volvo, that's number 3. And in the US, Model Y and Model 3, best-selling EVs. Then you got the Ford Mustang Mach-E. So thought it was a good
Ford Mustang Mach-E is not number 3 by a close margin.
Yeah.
There's a massive gap between the two.
He had another slide that actually explained the actual numbers, and I didn't put that out together.
Yeah. I'm just pointing out that there's a massive differential between number 2 and number 3.
Okay. So, we're watching this closely, but it looks like that even the EV market, Tesla is still succeeding despite, the so-called competition. No one else is making profit, even BYD now. And then, of course, in AI, we've pointed out that we'll just wait and see what happens, but we'll see that Tesla will be the one that shows real world ROI on the AI investments. Thank you so much, Larry. Follow Larry on X at Tesla Larry. Thank you, Larry. Talk to you again. Bye, everybody. I've created a website that is the most comprehensive resource for the Tesla investor. Please check it out. Simply go to my website at herbertong.com.